In this video, I'm going to give you the secrets of how to get an Oni Raider Mask farm super early in Ghost of Yotei. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Ghost of Yotei. So this will allow you to farm Oni Raider Mask Pieces without entering Ishikari Plain. And you can go back to this farm whenever you want to. So it's perfect. At the end of the video, we'll also talk about how you can fully upgrade all your weapons and armor to the top level with gun parts, with Shinobi Steel, and refer you to some of my earlier videos about this. But I'll walk you through that as a very early level character. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go get Oni Raider Mask Pieces. I recommend that you have the Hanako bow and the Yumi bow and the katana for this, and you'd probably be okay. Concentration would be nice to do some headshots, but you've got a lot of help on this farm. It just may go a bit quicker if you can execute the enemies with headshots. I think that you should farm 60 Oni Raider Mask Pieces so you can upgrade to the enhanced level, the Oni Raider Mask Pieces level for both bows and the katana. When you get those fully upgraded, when we talk about it later, you can easily get the Shinobi Steel. You'll probably be ready to finish this quest and get in the Oni area, which is the Ishikari Plain, which has better farming opportunities than this initial skirmish at the beginning of the Oni quest line. If you think that you need more than that, you can still abandon this quest and come back to it and farm as much as you want. So it's not a one-time farm. It's only one time if you advance the quest beyond this initial skirmish. Then it's a one-time thing and that you complete the quest. But if that's the case, then you would have a lot of farming opportunity in the Ishikari Plain. You don't need to feel like you have to do all this farming at once. You just need to do the farming to get your current set of weapons upgraded with the Oni Raider Mask Pieces. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the gate. You're going to give them a fake pass. You get the fake pass from the guy on the side, the beggar on the side. There's a lot of cutscenes. The door's going to open, and then there's going to be Oni Raiders. They're going to slide down the hill from the left. You're going to kill all the Onis that come from the left. Then there's going to be someone yelling Oni Raiders on the right, and there'll be 4 Oni Raiders on the right. So the ones on the left, you want to have the Charm of Kaniago from the Falls Rest Shrine so you can get a lot of metal from this farm. Make sure you don't have too much metal in your inventory because you're going to get a ton of metal from this farm. So you're looting them as you go, but when the second half of the battle is when it's yelled Oni Raiders on the right, and there are 2 of those that drop 1 Oni Raider Mask Piece each. Each run, which is about a minute or 2 minutes, about 2 minutes, 2 minutes, depending on how efficient you are killing the Oni Raiders, because the Matsume are not very efficient at killing them. Then you are going to loot the 2 guys that are not archers. So the guys on the right, sliding down from the right, you want to go after the guys that do not have bows. And you want to headshot those or throw a projectile at them to one-shot kill them, and then loot them. And you want to loot them before all the other foes are gone. So that's why you're going to ignore the archers, because you want the archers to stay alive, because you don't want to really loot them because they're only going to have coin or maybe metals. But we want the Oni Raider Mask Pieces here. You'll hear this phrase, "That is the last of the raiders. Regroup on me." When you hear Lord Kitamori, the samurai, say, "That is the last of the raiders," you want to hit the menu button, that is the touchpad, and then you want to go to restart at the next checkpoint. Why do you want to do that? Because otherwise you have to sit through all these cutscenes where you don't have access to the menus. Your only option is to go back to your latest manual save. So hopefully you're doing a manual save before each one of these runs so you can save your progress and you can avoid the cutscenes at the beginning of this quest line. If you don't have a recent enough manual save, you can abandon the quest. So the main tales allow you to abandon the quest. So you can abandon the quest, but then you have to go through the cutscenes and open the door and wait for the Lord Kitamori to ride in. And you don't want to do that. So that's why you're doing the manual save. So in case you're too slow, when Lord Kitamori says, "This is the last of the raiders," and you're slow in the draw to reset, You won't lose your progress if you abandon the tail. You just have to go through the cutscenes again. So it just wastes your time. So why do I say 60? Because once you get the upgrades for your katana and bows, you should be able to beat the boss and get into the Oni land, which is the Ishikari Plain, and there's better farming opportunities there. So the next part I'm going to talk about kind of the step-by-steps, even starting back at the beginning of like how you get the bows and how you get Shinobi Steel and how you get gun parts so you can fully upgrade all the weapons that you get, and also armor in the Chapter 1 regions of the Yotei Grasslands, the Tokachi Range, the Wilds area, the Teshio Ridge, and the Ishikari Plain. So you can be fully upgraded for your weapons really early on in the game without having killed or completed the Oni or Kitsune quest lines. So stay tuned for that, and I'm going to refer to videos that are in the description if you want more information about these other farming methods. So you can really farm Oni Raider Mask at super early when you're just very low level. I recommend you get 60 Oni Raider Masks for this location so you can fully upgrade your katana with Oni masks, and up to the enhanced level for the Oni mask upgrades, and the Yumi longbow and the Hanaku short bow. If you don't have coin for these things early in the game, go to the location featured in my video about the 136,000 coin per hour glitch, which is a very low level area which has low level enemies. You can assassinate the one on the ridge to get the coin purse. Once you have enough money, you can get the bows, and you should be able to clear out that unnamed camp area near the Falls Rest Shrine. At the Falls Rest Shrine, you want to get the Charm of Kaniago to increase your metals accumulation and rare metals accumulation, and near the Yotei Shadow Hot Springs near the stables, you want to get the Charm of Abundant Harvest, which is right under the tree. And so as you're moving around in the world, make sure you pick up all the bamboo on the way and everything else on the way, including the rare woods. Rare woods a little harder to find, but they typically are around altars of reflection, and sometimes they're available in the world, but they don't respawn very much, if at all. So I'm not aware of any rare wood farming location. Just equipping the Charm of Abundant Harvest will double your rare wood and other plants in bamboo take and make upgrading everything easier. At least with Oni Raider Mask Pieces, I recommend you ride to the Nagoro Wilds, take the ferry, then go up to the Kitsune area of the Teshio Ridge. In the Teshio Ridge, you can go to this closed off building shown here and in my video, and there's a little puzzle there. You go through the bamboo, go north, there'll be some bamboo you have to cut through. There's going to be a statue. Put the statue on the stand, then you can go in, you loot everything there. You can get the altar of reflection, doesn't matter which order you do that in, and you restart at the next checkpoint. Just loot. You want to get the Shinobi Steel. You should get all the Shinobi Steel you need in like 5 minutes. I recommend getting like 300 at this point. That would be more than enough Shinobi Steel to upgrade everything in the game, and that'll give you a little bit extra to craft disarming arrows for the Yumi bow. Once you've upgraded the Yumi bow and the Hanako bow and your katana to the second to last level of Shinobi Steel, and through this process I recommend stopping at all easy altars of reflection and all easy hot springs and bamboo strikes so that you increase your health, skill points, spirit. But in general, I think that if you're putting points into the skill tree, I think concentration pays off. So filling out the bow skill tree is quite OP relatively early. So once you've got all this, then you're probably gonna breeze through the Crow Genzo fight. I'm assuming you're also upgrading your armor since you have unlimited money on this glitch. If you're short on rare metals, then I recommend going to the 3 Terrors, Altar of Reflection, in the north end of the Teshio Ridge, and there should be tons of rare metals there if you got the Charm of Kaniago equipped off of the Terrors. And then you want to also upgrade all your capacity for the arrows, right? Then finally, to get the final level of upgrades, you want to pursue the Saito Brothers quest line, which will take you to the Odachi Master. You'll learn the Odachi. On the final mission of the Odachi Master, there's going to be a pitched battle. In the pitched battle, in the second wave of the pitched battle, there will be 3 NPCs that drop gun parts. You want to farm those gun parts until you get 85 gun parts. That should be enough to upgrade all the gun parts prior to the Oshima Coast. See my video about that. And then having done that, you have basically, you can upgrade all your pre-Oshima Coast gear to the max level. Your weapons in particular and armor, although I'm not sure how many armor sets need these things. If you want to get more Oni Raider Mask Pieces, you can always go back to the gate and reinitiate the quest, because you abandoned the tail at the end, and you could farm that way, but I don't recommend that once you've got into either the Oni Raider enhanced level or the second to highest level with the Shinobi Steel. At that point you should be able, and especially if you have the Mitsubishi, and you could easily also get the kunai, like by riding north to Hana to her farm. It's a quick fight, and then she gives you the kunai, and then you want to totally upgrade the kunai and its capacity. I would do that probably before I start the Odachi Master's Quest. And then with the Odachi Master's Quest, add that third Odachi's Redemption, farming that, you should have enough gun parts for every upgrade that you need prior to the Oshima Coast and prior to the end of the Oni and Kitsune quest lines. You probably want to initiate, after doing that, conquering the bases will give you 2 to 3 gun parts per base. There should be about 26 bases. I recommend avoiding the bases prior to this. If you want to farm fish, look at my fish farming video, and there is a non-base location that is the garden where you learn the song, that has a fire that has a fish by it that you can farm infinitely by restarting the next checkpoint. So you don't need to do this Saito recruitment camp fish farm to get fish for either turning into metals or for just eating at camp to get the fish buff for a day, so which gives you an extra spirit and another enhancement to your utility or combat for a day. And then, so with those 26 or so camps in the Yotei grasslands, the Tokachi Ridge, the Tokachi Range, Teshio Ridge, the Ishikari Plain, you should be able to get at least 50 more gun parts, or depending on how many bases you conquered prior to finishing the Odachi quest and getting the silver medal, or completing the Odachi's Redemption quest, which is the pitch battle. You could get as many as 52 to 78 gun parts just from conquering bases. So you should have plenty of gun parts. You can always go back to the closed off building to farm Shinobi Steel, and you can farm masks from the Ishikari Plain. You can see my video about the best farm there, but there are a lot of drops if you just play the main quest line, Oni quest line, for masks, so that you should be able to upgrade the Kusirigama, the Odachi, etc. relatively early in your playthrough in the Ishikari Plain, because you're going to get a lot of Oni Raider masks from conquering bases, from playing the main quest, from random encounters, and you can farm any really encounter you want for Oni Raider Mask Pieces. You won't need to farm anything once you've glitched that closed off building for Shinobi Steel. You might want to go back there once or twice, but probably not. You'd probably be swimming in Shinobi Steel and not know what to do with. So that's how you fully upgrade your weapons early on in the game and before the entering the Oshima Coast. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Ghost of Yotei. Good luck, Onryo.